power of discernment is huge because it gives you the ability to really decide if something is hopefully true in your heart and your soul, or if it's something that is made up or comes from somewhere else that is simply not you, right? And so before we're able to really understand that difference and make that discernment, we have to come to the realization that maybe everything that our monkey mind, our brain, isn't exactly the truth, right? Our mind is simply the accumulation of all the places we've been, all the people we've seen, all the interactions we've come into. So your mind is really not you. It's a collection of things that you have seen within the past, things that you have experienced in the past. And so it is not you. Now, not really trap, but the thing that comes into play here is that once you are like completely aligned with your mind and you believe each and everything that it tells you or that comes to mind, you will begin to accept all the things that go on at that time, right? So you start to really believe each and everything that you hear in your mind. And unless your mind is your friend yet, which frankly I don't know many people that are, but if you can make peace with it, that's where the treasure truly lies. When you're in that space of able to discern if your mind is your friend or not, then you're able to trust it a little bit more. I believe that's called intuition. So before we're able to discern and decide what is true for us and what is not, you're going to believe everything, as I just said, without even questioning it, which is the crazy part. So those that, or us, that are not able to completely decide for ourselves, well, that's the name of the game. Because I believe up until about 8, your nervous system, your entire body, your skin, your eyes, your brain, that is going to believe each and everything that you see beyond those years, in between those years, right? Because you're a sponge. You're a sponge at that point. And you don't really have a choice yet. You don't have the wisdom, you don't have the brain capabilities yet to discern what is right and what is wrong. So you could be compiled, essentially all of us can be compiled depending on our backgrounds and where we grew up. You're essentially like at the mercy of what goes on at that time. So your job, I guess, is once you get a certain age to discern that and realize that maybe all of that is not true. But again, as we had mentioned before, you don't have that brain power just yet. And I made this connection as well because those purest of souls, those that come here to do the absolute best in this world, that feel it, who have like a true purpose and something that's like very much like for a reason, right? When you first get here on this planet, you want to do the best you can. And no questions asked, really just full on, like, I want to make a difference. I want to really just bring the best. I was looking at something in the snow here. And so you have no choice because you want to bring the absolute best to this world. You want to make a change. You want to make a difference. And so on those ages, at the earliest age, you take everything in. Because you see it all as opportunity. You see it all as ways to make this change. And the more you accumulate without discerning, without that wisdom already in hand, then obviously there's a greater chance for baggage and negativity and just a lot of garbage that is not in truth, not authentic. And as maybe even as an empath as well, you bring that equation into it as well. So you feel responsible to want to make these changes and to bring the best out of everybody. I could speak for myself that I really always felt responsible for the whole energy in the entire room, no matter what room I was in. I always felt responsible for how everybody felt. I felt responsible for the way things went. And some will call that as like the dad of the group or the mom of the group, whatever, because you can feel the interactions between one another. And if it really, you kind of weigh on that because you want to be there to make a change. You see, as an empath, that's really, and until you could realize that you may be that way, then you're just there for the ride. So I hope I'm able to kind of open your eye on that, maybe see that you don't have to ride with that and carry that responsibility for everybody. The real superpower in that is to be able to observe it and not get attached to how everybody is doing at that time. And that's okay, because everybody ultimately should be able to carry their own. That is the real power, to stick with your inner self and trust with that, sit with that. And that is where your power lies, truthfully. In the body, in the heart. That's what I got on that. A lot of love. And I think I'll make another point to that. If and you feel responsible to make this change, well, the power is in you to do it. If you observe something that just doesn't make sense or is just out of your alignment, out of your truth, and you embody that truth and you live by it, then say something. Because, don't let that stuff go by. Sure, you can observe it. You can either observe it or really make a conscious choice and, really, if you wanted to see things in a different light, sure, but use the discernment. If it's in each and every, you just have to make the decision at that time if it's something worth getting involved in, because once you're involved, then your energy intertwines. And so it's all a conscious effort, conscious decision at that point in time. And then it kind of gets into, all right, well, how do I get rid of this baggage and these negative beliefs and these thought patterns and these loops? Well, I've covered these in some of my other videos here. But ultimately, it is really rewiring your nervous system. Just kind of really, so not only the nervous system, but you have to settle your mind. You have to learn to take control of your mind at that time as well. The best way to do with that, and I've certainly mentioned before, is really just sitting still and observing, trying to see who is the thinker of these thoughts. Where are these thoughts coming from? And then you see it's not you, right? These are all principles of the past or false assumptions of the future. And really the key is to bring it all as one and see how maybe false these thoughts are that are in your mind. There is purity outside of that. And essentially, once you can pick up on that and observe and say, okay, wow, this is kind of crazy, this is kind of not me, then you're able to continue to look within and start to heal your nervous system, heal your mind, heal your body, heal your spirit. There always support. There is support out there. There is wisdom to be learned. There is knowledge to be found. You are not the only one on this sort of journey. And the resources are certainly available for you if you choose to do the work. This is work. This is Not always easy street, not always. The work is letting go of what's not you. The work is, switching up of so many relationships and so many beautiful places you have been at. Admire it from a distance. Give it love, give it from your heart. But it's okay to let go. Because the true happiness, the true freedom lies within your inner knowing, inner self. All right, well, I'm gonna keep hiking here. Wish you all a blessed day.